show. And the time right now is the bottom of the hour. Listen, I don't know if y'all watched the Democratic debate last night, but here's a clip about the stop and frisk situation. Here we go.
One thing that I'm really worried about, embarrassed about, was how it turned out with stop and frisk. It got out of control.
And it's not whether he apologized or not, it's the policy. The policy was abhorrent, and it was, in fact, a violation of every right people have.
Now, I mean, in my opinion, that's an absolute good point, man. We got big brother, mentor, college professor, law professor, the one and only Glennon Threatt on the phone. Glennon, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey, and good morning to your radio audience.
Good morning to the radio audience. Hey, Glennon.
Yes, sir.
Man, break all of this stuff down, because I know you watched the debate last night.
I watched the debate last night, Rickey, and my message to the audience is that we need to do three things. We talk sometimes about three things we need to know. Today I want to talk about three things we need to do. The first is that we need to identify and focus on issues of importance to us. We need to analyze the candidates' positions, and then we need to vote our interest. One thing that troubled me, aside from the internecine fights and attacks on each other, was that none of the candidates focused on getting out the vote. The path to victory for Democrats is maximizing the number of Democrats that vote. In about 10 days from now, Rickey, we'll be at Super Tuesday, where 15 states and another territory votes. A third of the delegates who are at stake will be decided that day. And on that day, states like California, Alabama, Texas, Arkansas, Colorado, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, states where you have a large number of listeners in your audience will have the opportunity to go to the poll and do something that we've been talking about for the last year, which is to cast a vote that will make a difference in who rules and runs our country. And I think it's important that we remember how important it is for us to get out there, particularly for things like some of the down-ballot candidates, because we've got judges and county commissioners and state legislators, United States senators that will be in nomination contests next on Super Tuesday. So I don't want us to get distracted by these shiny objects like the pardons that the president is going through and what's going on with he and the attorney general about Roger Stone's sentencing, which is going to occur today, and how the president weaponizes Twitter to try to manipulate the attorney general. There is no excuse for us not getting out to the polls to vote on Super Tuesday, because your vote matters. And so those are the three things I think we need to do. Identify and focus on the issues, analyze the candidates' positions, and then vote your interest.
So Glennon, tell us what went through your mind watching the debate. Did it make you nervous? Did it disappoint you? Are you scared? Do you think that anybody on that stage?
Significantly, Rickey, because it was disappointing to me how unprepared Mayor Bloomberg was. You would think that with all the money and the resources he had, he should have been prepared for them to attack him where he's weakest, which is with women and with the African American community. And when Elizabeth Warren turned to him about those non-disclosure agreements, he looked like a deer caught in the headlights. I mean, it was. I watched that $400 million that he had spent on advertising just vanish in front of his very eyes, and it set him back significantly. I don't know if he can rescue himself, because there's only one more debate before Super Tuesday. The other thing that I thought was very damaging was the Pete Buttigieg's attacks on Amy Klobuchar.
That was terrible.
He did call her dumb, and she noticed it. I was wondering if she was going to figure out what he was doing. I mean, if she sits on congressional committees where she's involved in Latin American politics, she should know the name of the president of Mexico, and she didn't. And so, but you know, as you were saying earlier on the show, attacking each other doesn't get us to victory in November. And so that's what saddened me the most about the debate, that they spent most of the time attacking each other instead of focusing on maximizing the number of voters that go to the polls and trying to coalesce around a set of policy initiatives that can carry us to victory in November.
So, Glennon, if you had to guess, and this is just your personal opinion, who do you think will win the nomination, and do you think they could beat Donald Trump?
I think Sanders wins the nomination unless they change the rules, because he's going to he's going to come out of Super Tuesday with a plurality of delegates. And the last question that was asked, one of the last questions that was asked, is that if going into the debate, if there's going into the nomination in Milwaukee, does a person with the plurality of delegates, should that person be the nominee? And Sanders was the only one of the candidates that was willing to say that he thought that was the case. And so I think it's time for us to start coalescing around a candidate. I really think right now, based on what I'm seeing, that Sanders is going to get the nomination, and I hope he can beat Trump.
And he can't, because here's my thing, and I'm going to say it, and you can stop the music on this one. You can stop the music. Bernie Sanders will become president of the United States if he puts Stacey Abrams or Andrew Gillum on the ticket. That is an unbeatable ticket. What do you think, Glennon? We got to go.
I agree with you 100%, Ricky.
Stacey Abrams or Andrew Gillum. That's just.
I agree.
That's me. Glennon, big brother, I love you, man.
Love you too, Ricky. Take care.
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you for everything. Hey, Brad, don't you love Glennon?
I do. I love when he come on. I feel like I'm so much smarter once I hear him talk.
Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
man,
you.
we love you. That's right, man. Law
Okay.
professor, member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity
Yeah.
Incorporated. Absolutely. That's my big brother, Brad. You got to sit in the room with him. You'll be smart. If you just sit there and have a glass of wine with Glennon, you'll know
Yes.
everything about everything.